Oh, that's my, oh, you're so good. Okay. 251 in the wings of song.
I'm going to talk a lot about attitude today.
Got plenty of it.
And I think we should just start the day with an attitude of gratitude.
Amen.
I'm going to ask you to just take a moment. I could even time it, 1 minute. And just think and feel gratitude in your own personal assessment of what's going on in your life and this beautiful weather we've been having. And just, there's so much to be thankful for, to feel thankful for. So let's take this moment. And may we all think, I'm thankful for everything, and I have no complaints. And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I once listened to an interview of the first female Prime Minister of New Zealand. And something she said struck me. And as I talk about this is not to take away from who she is and her accomplishments, although that will come up in a little bit, I think. She was asked, so when did you want to become Prime Minister? When did that happen? When did your vocation, when did your career really start to gel as far as what path you wanted to take? And she said, I was a checker at a supermarket, and I just felt like I really wanted to do something more with my life. And what strikes me about that statement is that it is echoed many times in our society, not just in the Americas, but any of our modern societies, that somehow those people who are doing that kind of work is something somehow to rise above. I couldn't help but think, how did all the checkers across the world who heard that statement, how did they take that in? I think of the folks who work at Oliver's, where we go almost every week. And some of those folks have been there for years. You know them by name. They're very friendly. And we have this proclivity to say, oh, they're just a checker, or I'm just a garbage collector, or I'm just an electrician. 2/3 of high school graduates don't go to college. They do other things. And I would guess that those things that those folks end up doing to contribute to our society might be counted as a little bit more important sometimes than those of us who are fortunate enough to go to college. And you've seen what happens in some of our cities when the garbage collectors decide we've had enough, we're going on strike. I imagine that when the bankers go on strike, it's not quite as a big deal, because you don't see garbage piling up in the streets within a week. We have this story in our society that success is measured by accomplishments. We have this story that this statement I'm about to say can be construed as true. Oh, he's a really successful guy, even though his marriage is falling apart and his kids don't talk to him and his parents really don't like him, but he's very successful. We know what we mean by the word he's a success or she's a success. She's a financial success, or has a really amazing career. That, I think, is not the way I want to measure my life. That is the way that I would encourage others, that success has nothing to do with that. It's more along the lines of, have you been loving? Have you been kind? Have you been gentle, peaceful, friendly? Have you served others and taken service when you need it? Those, I think, are more deeper and more meaningful measures of success, rather than the measure of success that we're given from the time when we're little kids. And above all that, loving, kind, gentle, peaceful, friendly, of service, those gifts that you give and receive are really the markers of, I think, a good human being. So when we carry ourselves out there, I'm reminded of what Vicki Robin, who wrote Your Money, Your Life, talks about. It says, a job is what you do to earn money, but your vocation is something entirely different. It may not have anything to do with what your job is. And above all that, as Patrick said earlier, wrapping all of this loving, kind, gentle, peaceful, friendly of service in a sphere of gratitude for what you've been given. So I leave you with that. And may you be really successful in life. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, David. That just hit the nail on the head. And there again, it's all about our attitude, about the way we think of ourselves. And so many times we devalue ourselves, and we do it worse than anybody else to our own selves. So, but I remember that prime minister. I thought she was aces. Just she did so much, but that she started out as a grocery checker. You know, grocery checkers can have a big effect on people's lives. They have a chance to smile and greet people and bring a little joy. There was a lovely, lovely lady over at Rayleigh's, and about 10 years ago, I'd shop there all the time. I'd never seen a wedding ring or anything, and she was so pretty, and she was about my age. I asked her one day when I went through the line, we always spoke, hi, how are you? I said, any chance you and I maybe having a cup of coffee together or something sometime? And she said, oh, no. I said, no. She said, no, for a couple of reasons. what reasons would those be? She said, number one, you're not that lucky and I'm not that desperate. That's it. They have an opportunity to have great, great impact on people's lives. Yes, thank you, David, very much. Today is the I don't know how manyth, maybe about the 20th, Old Time Chicken Barbecue put on by the McCarty Historical Society right across the street, right after church, starts at noon. It's either 20 or 25 bucks, and Sabrena was saying if you go online, you can get your ticket for 20 bucks. And if you want to know how, ask her, she'll tell you. Okay. And but it lasts from 12. They serve from 12 to 3. It's over about 4 o'clock. There's live music. Brenda's going to be volunteering, and she will be your greeter, just like at Walmart. Just anyway. But they got live music. They've got all kinds of stuff. Silent auction. They've got bake sale that is really good. And so it's a kind of a tradition here in McCarty. Next week is potluck, and next Saturday, all things the weather cooperating, they're going to be doing paint on our building. They're putting all new shingles on the bell tower. It's amazing the amount of work they're doing. It's just amazing, huge project. Probably the best restoration refurbishment that this building has ever had in 118 years, I think, 119 years. So join me in feeling gratitude that this just be off the charts. What else is going on? Oh,
Talk about Bonnie.
what's that?
Talk about Bonnie and where she is.
We'll do that in just a moment. Most of you are familiar with Music to My Ears. We kind of partner with them in a lot of things. They've got shows going on over at the theater in Sebastopol, the 25th and the 26th of this month, 2nd and 3rd of next month, from 2 to 7 at Main Street Theater. It's called The Addams Family, and it's a youth program, and they're great shows. And a young lady who I call my granddaughter, Sarah McDonald, is choreographing and running the show. So it's a great thing. If you'd like to do it, I'll leave this flyer on the back table. And actually, if you would, Sabrena, would you run that back and set it back? Because I'll forget at the end of my talk. Thank you.
Can we make a copy of that and put it in the hall as well?
Okay, well, take it from church and stick it over there at the hall.
Just pick it up from church, nobody sees it during the week. Right, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's why.
Any other announcements of upcoming things? I think there are, and I just can't remember what they are. But we all know people going through some tough times. And before that, on the 23rd of April, we will be having a celebration of life for Catherine Stewart.
23rd of
May. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. And it will be from noon to 4, I think. And so if anybody would like to, I'll have a flyer. I was emailed a flyer on my phone, and it was too little. I couldn't print it out, but I will get a flyer and put out if you'd like to attend. But we all know people going through tough times. And Catherine's family, they're on the list of people to send energy and love and courage and acceptance. They've got grief to live through. That's part of all of our lives from time to time. Another person, Bonnie, most of you know she fell last week, broke her hip, had surgery Sunday night. They moved her to the Petaluma Post-Acute Rehab Facility at 1115 B Street in Petaluma. If you have a pencil or see me after service, her phone number is 707-765-8255. 3030. And they ask that you make calls sometime between 9 and 5, unless you get her room phone. I don't know what her room number is. I talked with her yesterday. I said, is there anything you'd like to tell everyone? She said, that thank everybody, and that she's hanging in, probably going to be there for 10 more days, and she'd love to have phone calls and visitors and bring donuts, you know. So anyway, you might give her a call. But she's doing, all things considered, she's doing very, very well.
I'm gonna tell you something. That woman never uttered a tear. She never cried. I sat there at the hospital until they took her back for surgery. She was a rock all day.
One tough lady now.
Man,
Very
just
tough lady.
amazing in every way. So
Kelly had a knee replacement last week or 2 weeks ago. She's going through the rehab. It's not comfortable. It's kind of a nap, but she's okay. Everything's going as it normally should and would. So let's keep those folks in our hearts and prayers and minds and thoughts. Wayne and Nancy are going through probably the toughest time in their 64 years of marriage right now. Today, Nancy is moving into a residential full-time care situation, and Wayne is moving into an apartment. And that's very traumatic at this point in their lives. So let's send our love out to them. Just a hug through the ethers. So let's name other people that we know, so we can have an identity or a name in mind as we send our energy.
Jean,
Sarah,
Kendra, John.
Okay, let's take a few minutes and send this amazing, life-giving, life-enriching energy that we have. We trust Spirit to give and deliver and share what is needed in each life in this amazing universe in which we all live. And so it is. Going back to what David was talking about, how we think ourselves to not be successful. We downplay ourselves. We have a negative attitude about ourselves. Let's stand up and sing, I love myself the way I am. And truly, give that some thought. We are amazing creatures, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I love myself the way I am. Number 17 in the songbook. And now, we loving people, let's show our love to each other and greet each other in a 119-year-old traditional fashion.
I just got done with I spent like the last half year
Hey. How you doing, Wild Bill? Slow and steady. Good. That's way good. Yeah. I'm excellent. Excellent. I'm excellent. If I was any better, I'd have to be 2 people. Y'all ain't ready for that. I'll tell you what, if right now, you I am too. I've been on both. Hey, that's my girlfriend. I know. Go ahead. So what's happening with Bonnie? Well, she filled out her room. Go in the coffee room. How about a great big deep breath? Just dig it in deep and let it out big. This is a time when we celebrate our abundance. And I forgot to mention something during the announcements, but we have a unique kind of abundance. Our cleaning gal found a pair of cute little crystal clear earrings. No backs, but they're here. And if anybody lost them, that's fine. And next week, if nobody claims them, we'll just give them away. We've got other little pieces of jewels up here too. So they're there, right there on top of the sound system. Our abundance. It's around us all the time. Sometimes we're reminded of it. We walk in the door, we see scaffolding, paint chips on the ground, ladders. But there's other stuff that we aren't reminded of quite so noticeably. And those are the things that we need to spend a few moments and think about. Our abundance of our presence in each other's lives. The abundance, none of us, I don't think, are starving to death. I think we all got a place to sleep. We can all get around some way or another. And when we look at our communities, we see homeless people and poor people, but they all got cell phones. There are people and places in this world that people are seriously starving by the thousands. Have bombs going off up and down the streets in their cities. We have so much to be thankful for. We have the ability to share so much. We can share our time, our talent, our thought, and our treasure whenever we want. And we actually have, outside of maybe the time, we probably have an unlimited amount of all those things in one way or another. So let's read together our affirmation of abundance, may we? When we choose to give, if our gift is inspired by gratitude rather than obligation, we are manifesting the power of the divine and the spiritual principle of abundance. May we ponder that, please, Eden. Thank you. As we prepare for our meditation this morning, let's sing together, Be Still and Know That I Am God, number 69 in the wings.
We'll get there.
Good morning. Take several long, deep breaths. Let all thoughts or worries float away as you breathe. Take a moment and imagine you are on a path, perhaps through a garden, a mountain meadow, or the forest, or any other path you choose. You begin walking on this path. As you continue walking, you see a ray of light. It is warm and inviting. It leads you to the most beautiful shimmering pool of light. You step in. And as you walk deeper and deeper into this pool, you are filled with light. From the top of your head to the soles of your feet. With every breath, this divine light glows stronger and brighter with every breath. With every exhale, send this glow of spirit to everyone here and then out into the world. And as you go on your way today, may Spirit be with you to show you the way, to encourage you, to give you peace. Namaste.
Thank you, Janet. You know, I think all we can do, all I can do on a Sunday, or what we can do, is try things that might enrich our lives. And that has to be, you have to do it. Nobody can fix anybody else. And I think my job is to find different ideas and possibilities and practices that might help some of us. There's no checklist for all of us. But this week I'm going to talk a little bit about attitudes and how shifting our attitudes a little bit can greatly improve the value of our lives. I think the biggest problem we have about our attitudes is our relationship with our own pronouns. Me, mine, and I. That's where everything is centered about. We hang on to this I, me, mine consciousness instead of the we consciousness. Some ways, attitudes we might shift a little bit. How about non-judgment? Why do we find it so necessary to judge everything? It's right or wrong, good or bad. He's a success or not a success. Can we just kind of look at things the way they are? I wonder, and I'm talking to me, I wonder if I could spend 24 hours without judging somebody or something. I don't know if I could do that. But I know for every hour that I can do that, my life is enriched compared to the time I do judge. So it's up to us to be aware. Just, they call it mindfulness. Be aware of what's going on with you, what you're doing, thinking, saying, and feeling right now. What's going on all around you. We don't have to judge everything. We don't have to judge anything. There's a word called discernment. And it's a little different than judgment. Sometimes we think they're synonymous, but they really aren't. Discernment is just looking at things and seeing what they truly are. We look at our world, the news of all the happenings in our world. We don't care much for most of it that's going on that we're aware of, we hear over the news. But if you think about the we consciousness, if you think about the world and all that's in it, this is what human beings do, have always done. And can we just kind of look at that and discern that there's people don't treat each other very well. We can choose to participate or not participate, but we don't have to call anybody terrible bad. They're doing things for reasons that we aren't aware of the reasons. How can we judge somebody if we don't know all the facts? And the next little attitude that we might follow that up with is acceptance. Just accepting that this world is just the way it is. The way it's been since it was created. All that stuff, it's just, if we could look at our world, that it is what it is. Instead of feeling so bad, imposing a self-suffering, causing anxiety. And a frustration. We didn't come into this world to have to fix the world. We didn't come into the world to have to judge it. And we've all said, I'd like to help, but what can I do? And I gave a talk several years ago. I was telling Vivian, I said, I'm fed up with hearing that. I'd like to do something. What can I do? So my new answer to that is just pull your head out of your butt and look around. There's something you can do that would be good for we instead of me. This is just ideas. Another attitude we might adjustment we might make is, how about letting go of stuff? We hang on to stuff. Do you know in our life, our bodies, sometimes we hang on to a little fats, polyunsaturated, but we hang on to that. But the way our bodies are designed, we take in air, we let air out. We take in food, and for the most part, we let it out. We have relationships, and at some point, it's not a relationship. We have cars, we have toys, we have things. At some point, it's probably better if we release those things. But we hang on to ideas, and we call them beliefs and stuff, way longer than it would be probably best for us, to a point where it prevents us from enjoying life to its fullest, to the best potential, the best possibility we could come up with. And right in line with that, when we let go, how about trusting? Look at life, for instance. If we could trust our day-to-day activities with a level of trust that our hair is going to grow, that our blood's pumping to the right places, that our food is being processed, that our oxygen is being processed and breathing, that the trees are going to grow next week, and that the leaves are going to fall at some time. There is a cycle and an amazing energy design of perpetuality in all of nature. Why are we any different? If we just stand back and let us be us, we could pretty much thrive until we try to run the thing and drive the bus. And we gotta limit that. That's just my idea. I could be wrong. And haven't we all heard the old prayer? Lord, grant me patience, but I want it right now. Why don't we wait and see what's got to happen? Why don't we just be patient and let things take their course? We get so antsy about stuff all the time, and I'm the worst one. Ask my daughter, well, did you do that yet? Did you do this yet? Did you do that yet? And this talk is designed for me to listen to. Just relax. Roll easy in the saddle. Just allow things to work out the way they're maybe meant to work out. The other thing that we do sometimes is we constantly strive. We got to make more money. We got to be there early. That's me. I always have to be there early. I don't want to go. I always strive I got to be my best. I got to be the smartest. I got to be the funniest. I got to do all these things. We don't have to strive to do anything. If we can get the conflict and the chaos out of our conscious being, out of our consciousness, we don't have to strive. We can just sit here and just notice how we are actually thriving instead of striving. And I think we are all our worst taskmasters. Don't we all criticize and push ourselves way more than anybody else would? If I ever had an employer talk to me the way I talk to me, I'd hit him with a brick. But I put up the stuff from me all the time. And what does that do to my consciousness? I downsize myself. I downplay myself. I make myself small by my thoughts, my words, and my actions, and my consciousness, and my awareness. And I don't think I'm the only one in the room that does that. I hope not. The other attitude that we might shift is what we started out with this morning, the attitude of gratitude. We have heard a lot about that. And that's the one attitude that doesn't cost us anything. All the other ones require us to open ourselves up to some sort of vulnerability. There's consequence maybe sometimes to loving, to accepting, to patience. But gratitude, there's no consequence except happy, feeling good, telling the brain to make good chemistry, no stress hormones, to make good hormones, to make good chemicals in our bodies. Another attitude that we may think about is, how generous are we? Sometimes I feel like I'm singing to the choir when I talk about sharing and generosity. But if we're aware of these things, if we can stay in the moment and listen to ourselves as we talk, think about what we're thinking about. Is that based on a we consciousness? Am I enriching my life by the thoughts I'm having, by my consciousness, by my actions? Or am I hanging on to some of those old beliefs that keep me in a wee little box in the back of my closet? All of nature, every life form I can think of in this universe is on our side. Because every life force has a undescribable, unimaginable desire and ability to survive. Look at the horrible things that seem to happen to people. And forest fires and tsunamis and all these things. And somehow life survives. If we could just, maybe for a minute, accept that. Just be aware of, oh, there's always been terrible things. Always, probably always will be, as long as there's people. People don't always make some great decisions. That's our choice as people. We're the only species that I know of that actually can choose, can really choose what they think, what they share, what they do, what they feel. Oh, I'm going to slow down and quit for the day. I hope each of us gives some thought to maybe a little adjustment of attitude. Because every time you do, your life gets sweeter. Every time. It can be just a little thing. And maybe it's just today. Maybe tomorrow you'll revert back to your old nasty self. But then you can remember, oh, that was crummy. I said something that hurt feelings for 3 people. I should be more aware of what I'm saying in the moment by moment. I had a chance to smile and be pleasant. And I choose to be a grouch, and I chose to be a grouch. How does that enrich my life or anybody else's life? We all have these choices. We all want our lives to be better. We all would like to help other people's lives to be better too. That's just how we're made. But then we put ourselves in a little box. Let's kick the corners out of the box and throw them in the trash. And do a little attitude adjustment. Maybe every day, just a little thing in one area. Who knows? Can't wait to see what happens in my life as I work on that. And I'm happy. I'm just excited about seeing what happens in your lives as you do a little adjustment. And you'll find out when you do some adjustments and you get rid of some of these things that drag you down, you'll be able to stand up and sing at the top of your lungs, I am free, I am unlimited. And we're going to do that a couple times right now. Number whatever it is, 322.
I am free, I am unlimited right now.
Amen.